This mower has a few problems. First off, the fuel tank always seems to be empty. Secondly, it's a little hard to start and smokes out of the tailpipe immediately after starting. While running, it bubbles gas out of the primer bulb, and after killing the engine, it will smoke from the air cleaner and the tailpipe, and eventually it'll start leaking from under the carburetor. Worst of all is that this mower always reeks of gas. All these symptoms are the classic signs that something is wrong with the needle valve. And in this video, we will explore how to fix this on a 125cc Briggs Stratton 300E series that produces 4.5 foot-pounds gross torque at 2600 RPM.
There's a couple things that could be wrong with this. One is that the float has gas in it and it's sinking, keeping the valve open. But the other thing is, since the owner of this mower told me it had been previously repaired, and after it was repaired it started leaking, maybe they didn't assemble it right. Maybe the check valve fell out or something. So let's get into this and see what we can find. These are nitrile gloves. They're kind of resistant to gas. They're better than nothing, but they get a little weird feeling. What's nice about these gloves is, even though they feel like the gas goes right through them and they get kind of goofy feeling, your fingers don't smell like gas afterwards, so maybe it actually is penetrating it. I mean, maybe it actually is keeping the gas off your hand. One thing that absolutely will dissolve these is carburetor cleaner. Alright, so this bolt is a 7mm. That fits really good. But if you don't have a 7mm, a 9/32 fits pretty close. So you can take these off without worrying about a drip pan underneath it, because there is a good O-ring seal around the bowl. Alright, there's the second one. So as a drip pan, I'm just going to use the lid off of my oil pan. I can dump that. Then I can dump this. Alright, one quick way to test it is to remove our clamp off the fuel line. Gas starts flowing, and then when we close it, see if the gas stops. And this does not stop. So go ahead and stop the gas manually. Dump that into our oil pan. Let's get a little bit closer. Alright. So it looks like this has been mounted in there crooked. Let's see if I can get a good look at that. Alright, can you see that? Looks like that valve is in there crooked. I mean, looks like the retaining pin for the float is crooked. It's not latched in all the way. Let's see if we can just pop it back in place. Well, that's in there all the way. Let's just do a real quick test of it here. Well, what do you know? That stops it now. Alright, just one more time. We'll take off the clamp. It's dripping gas. We lift up the float and it quits flowing now. So this is just assembled in a hurried way. So just for giggles, let's go ahead and see if we can't remove this all the way. I got it pushed out there. There we go. Alright, so one more time. The symptoms of this mower was while it was running, gas would dribble out of the primer bulb here. Then also, after I'd kill it and it was warmed up slightly, smoke would come out of the intake as the gas overflowed and went into the hot combustion chamber. And then eventually it would fill up to the point where it would start overflowing out of the bowl, which is removed. This is the bowl. And so the possible causes of that would be a faulty needle valve or a float being partially flooded. Whoops. The float being partially flooded, keeping the needle valve open, or as you saw in the case of this one, the float being improperly installed, not clipped in all the way, thus not closing the needle valve completely. So what you're looking at here is the jets, or the jet. I don't remember how many jets are in here. And if you want to get this out, you can just sort of slightly pry on it and pull out the whole jet cartridge just like that. But that's not a problem, so we're just going to leave it there. Snap it back into place. What we're doing here is we're going to reinstall the float and the needle valve. So, with the needle valve already in place and this little bar that retains it, get better grip on this. We're going to, come on, there we go. You see that? We stabbed the needle valve right in place. Then we'll snap that in both sides and center that valve best we can. Center that bar best we can. So we'll just push it over. It doesn't really matter as long as the bowl will slip over it. We're good to go. And then if you want to test it, you can take off the clamp you're using to keep the gas out and just prove that the needle valve works like that. Perfect. Let's go ahead and replace that clamp. And then the bowl, you just want to make sure it's clean, not too much debris in there. And then it'll slide right over. Get it lined up, then try to push it in place. I always wind up using the bolts to squeeze the O-ring back in. You don't want to go too tight with the plastic. You could strip it out very easily. Check, make sure you have gas in the tank still. Open it up and just watch and wait. See if it starts leaking again. I have a little bit of gas already, but I'm going to go ahead and top it off just to make sure. Not seeing any leaks. I think we got this one fixed. Alright, we've been running for about 5 minutes. We're just gonna wait and see if it starts leaking or not. See if we actually fixed it. It looks a little shiny there. We'll have to just wait and see.
All systems go. Everything's looking good. Just need to put the air cleaner back on, put my tools away, and then return this mower back to its owners. So I hope this video was useful to you. I really appreciate you watching. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Maybe on here on YouTube. Anyways, thank you so much.